So this is where we left last time. So now here in script.js we'll refactor our code. So I've commented these lines. Okay, so this will create the map, this will create marker. Okay, from below. So why not just put them in function? Okay, so that we can reuse them. So I will make new function called create map. Okay, so I'll create this function and I'll put this code inside that function. Okay, so this function takes this parameter. Okay, so we'll pass it here, my latlang. So now this function will create map. So I will minimize this. So this function create already marker. Okay, so this is okay. And below this creates a nearby source, or it will mark place. Okay, so we will create function called mar yeah, so why not create so places, so nearby, just create nearby search. So we will put all code below this line into that. Okay, so from here up to that request, so we'll cut that and place it here. Okay, so nearby search. So this function also takes that latlang value. Okay, so we have to use this variable. Okay, my latlang. So okay, this parameter may be anything. We will pass this value. Okay, so it may be anything. I will give it this to make this easier. So here is our request. It is okay. This is also okay. Okay, so now everything looks okay. So now we have 3 functions, one for nearby search. Okay, let's see where this function ends. Yeah, this is working fine. So one function create map, create marker. So here we have 3 functions. Okay, one for creating map, one for creating marker, and one for creating nearby search. Okay, so that is working for now. You can also make this dynamic, okay, by passing types here. Okay, type, we'll use type here. So now this is okay for now. Next we'll be using geolocation navigator. Okay, currently we are hard coding this value. We will use the dynamic value. Okay, so for that we have to use the geo navigator. Okay, so I will create another function called geolocation initialization in it. Okay, this will initialize our geolocation value. Okay, so inside that function I will create if your browser, so let me first type this and I will explain. So navigator.geolocation will give us current position of device. Okay, so we are checking if geolocation is available in browser or not. Okay, if browser supports that or not. So this if this returns true, okay, so we will get the current position. So navigator.geolocation dot get current position. Okay, so we'll get current position. So this function takes 2 value, success and fail. Okay, if that is not supported, else we will alert browser not supported. Okay, So this geolocation, if this is present, we will get the current position, and if that is not present, we will alert this. Okay, so here one thing you should know. Okay, so after we confirm that geolocation is present, this function will give us current position. Okay, this so if browser is successful to retrieve the value, okay, of location, it will execute this success function. Otherwise it will execute fail function. Okay, so for example, if I didn't allow browser to find my location, okay, if I disallow, then it will execute the fail function. If I allow, this will execute success function. Okay, so we'll see that. So now we'll create the success function. Okay, because it takes this if that is successful. So let's create that function. So first of all, we will get the latitude and longitude value. Okay, so let's get that lat value. So we will get so position. Actually we have to pass this position here. Okay, so this function by default contains this position. This position will contain all the value of coordinates, okay, of our current location. So that is inside. So this is in JSON format. So we access our latitude value by course dot latitude. Okay, so this will give us our latitude value. You can test, okay, just console log this position and you can check. Okay, so why not just log that, console dot log this position. So this will contain latitude value. I'll duplicate this and this will give us LNG longitude value. So just replace this longitude. So now we are getting these two values. So why not just put this inside this function. I'll just cut this and paste it here. So now instead of this hard coding this will come from here. So let val our value from here. So now if that is successful, we will create map. Okay, so let's call this function create map, and we'll pass that value my lat lang from here. Also one thing to remember, okay, so let's define this value globally, okay, because other functions are also accessing this value. So this is just available for here, not to these here, okay, because we are using here. So let's make this global. Let's remove var here. Instead just define it at the top of everything. Okay, so I will just define it here, var map. Okay, so now that is working. So now everything should work. Okay, so if it is successful, we are creating our map. So if that is not successful, we have to create this fail function also. Okay, in case that is not successful, function fail will alert it fails, or you couldn't retrieve position, whatever, this will do work. Okay, so we don't need to call these function. Okay, it is already calling it here, we are calling it here. So now everything is working. So now we just created function, we are not calling it, so let's call it, otherwise it will not work. So geolocation init, so we'll call this function. Now this function get called. If that get called, if we have this geolocation present, we'll execute this success function. If we do not allow that, we'll execute fail, sorry. So else browser is not supported alert will pop up. Okay, if this geolocation is not present. So in success function we define this latitude and longitude value. We created this, okay, our Google Map version of latitude longitude. We call our function called create map, okay. So inside fall function we are alerting falls. So inside create function we are creating map. So why not just create a default marker for this, okay. Because if you see here we are using this icon, so this is flag. So for our current position we have to use that red marker, okay. So for other location we are using this flag icon, okay, here, okay, you can see here flag icon. So now create that default marker for this our current position, okay. So you know how to create marker new Google Maps dot marker, okay. So here it will take one location, okay. So like this position. So why not just copy this and paste it here. So it will take position. So here, so position will be this thing, my lat lang, okay. So this is what here, okay. So we are passing that. So creating map, creating marker. So let's use that same value. So in this case we are not using icon, okay, we are using default value. So we are not using title as well. Let's make this also global variable, okay, so that everyone can access it. We'll remove var from here. So why not just copy this whole thing. So now if we go to our browser and test this, so in your case it should ask your position, okay. In my case why it didn't ask was I already tested it, okay. So here you can clear that thing. So if you click this, clear this setting for future visit, and if you reload that, okay, it should ask you for this location, okay. So if we do allow, it will execute this function, success function. So if we block, it should, yeah, it fails. So look, it fails here, okay. So we'll try this once again. This time we'll allow it, okay. It is remembering our previous setting, okay. So just clear that out and reload again. So it should ask you again. So this time we'll allow that. So after allowing, this point my current position, okay. So now our current position is marked. Now we also want to mark our nearby places, okay. So in order to do that, go inside the success function. So here is create map, okay. So we'll call this function nearby search function, okay. So let's copy that and we'll call that function as well. So as you already know that if we do not call function, that will not get executed, okay. So defining function is not enough. So here type will be, let's give it value school, okay. So this is we are passing this my lat lang value here, so it is catching up here, okay. So type is schools. So now all other code will be executed. Now let's refresh that. Yeah, this is pointing all the places, okay. So now it's working. So these are all the schools around my area. So now our code is totally refactored, okay, usable code. So here I forgot that. Yeah, it's working. So now we'll create our controller. So everything else will be same, only different thing will be inside nearby search, where we'll be pulling data from our database.